you mentioned Ian Fleming. So I don't know if you remember the full detail of Ian Fleming's personal history. Ian Fleming was, as I recall, Chris, and correct me if I'm wrong, a lieutenant commander in British intelligence, and he actually spent time in Lisbon, Portugal, where I went to high school. Who'd have thought? And so most of what he reflects in Casino Royale was his fictionalized accounts of what they were doing as British intelligence during World War II at Casino Estoril, which was a real place in Lisbon, correct?
You got it. I could talk for hours about this. I've written an article actually on with a good friend of mine, Trevor McCriskin, called "Spies, Lies, and Social Ties: The Secret Life of Ian Fleming," and it's an article about Fleming's long intelligence career. So we've known for a long time that he was personal assistant to Admiral Sir John Godfrey, who was the head of British Naval Intelligence during World War II. Right. But for a long time, accounts of what he did there were pretty negative. They tended to depict him as pretty low on the organizational flowchart, someone with access to no real secrets, someone who basically all he did all day was play with in trays, out trays, and ashtrays. We can now dramatically revise that assessment, and just to sort of evidence why I say that. So Britain's Joint Intelligence Committee, the JIC, this is Britain's most senior intelligence assessment body. The chairman of that body, and the JIC basically gets in a room all the heads of the agencies, so 5, 6, GCHQ, Special Operations Executive, Political Warfare Executive. So all the important people are at the table with the JIC. And the JIC chairman during World War II was a guy called Victor Cavendish Bentinck. And get this, when Cavendish Bentinck was unavailable, who do you think chaired those meetings? It was Ian Fleming. Yeah. Ian Fleming. So this completely destroys this idea that he was a nobody. He was right at the center, to such an extent that he was even made aware of what was going on at Bletchley Park, and that's a big deal. Yeah, we know that only half of Winston Churchill's war cabinet were made aware of what was going on at Bletchley Park, but Fleming knew what was going on, and we also have evidence that he planned operations with the mathematical genius Alan Turing. So Fleming is he's sent, and the story you've got there is brilliant about the Casino Royale. So just to flesh that out a little bit, when Fleming was working for Godfrey in 1940-41, remember this was pre-OSS. This was pre-Office of Strategic Services. The Americans didn't have anything equivalent to, say, SOE or MI6. And so while Bill Donovan was making the case, along with people like Sir William Stevenson, the head of MI6 in the Americas and the British Security Council, BSC, he was basically saying to people on Capitol Hill, and he was also saying to Roosevelt, guys, we need to start taking intelligence seriously here. We need to build something like MI6. To help us build MI6, you know what? I think we need to reach out to the Brits. And so this episode in Portugal, which inspired Casino Royale, essentially Fleming and his boss, Godfrey, they go from London to Lisbon, and they have to kill a few hours in Lisbon because a Dixie Clipper is taking them from Lisbon all the way to DC to meet Donovan. And so, of course, what do two pretty well-heeled gentlemen, men of the establishment, do when you've got a few hours to kill in Lisbon? You go to the casino. And by Fleming and Godfrey's telling, what happened that night was that they were playing baccarat. Fleming thought that he was playing baccarat against Nazis, so he turned to Godfrey and said, "You know what? We can deal a fatal blow here to the Nazi war chest. If we win this game, I can clear these guys out." And so they play baccarat all night. Unfortunately, Fleming loses. He loses all his escudos, but he ensures 8, 9, 10 years later, when writing Casino Royale, that his literary creation, James Bond, doesn't lose the game of cards. So brilliant.
That's brilliant. But that's brilliant. But by the way, after that all happened, they set up, I don't know if you knew this, they set up the first actual kind of CIA spy school down at Quantico.
Thanks for watching that clip. If you like it, there's more. Be sure and go sign up for more with the exclusive content at ColonelTonyShaffer.com and become a member of the Sentinel Circle. You will thank me later for the great things that you will see there. We're going to have great guests. We're going to have friends of the show, friends of the program, friends of me, and it's all going to be fun. So go over, sign up today. You'll be very happy that you did it, and we'll have fun together. Tony Shaffer, ColonelTonyShaffer.com. See you there.